Give a little.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here. I really appreciate it, and it really doesn't matter that you're here, and I thank you for showing up. Most of you know me. My name is Pauline Sandell, and yes, there is an accent. For those of you who don't know, it's from Britain, and that's where I'm from too. And I'm also mindful that my accent sometimes might not be understandable, apparently. So if there's anything you don't understand, feel free to put your hand up and ask a question. I may not answer it, but I will try to. And by the way, can everybody hear me? Okay, I'm getting messages that I need to speak a bit louder. I will do my best. I have learned in my time of living here in America that apparently I'm quite softly spoken. And that's because mostly Americans are very loud. And by the way, that's a stereotype that in the conversation of diversity, one should be really careful about saying. This morning, because I'm speaking with people who participate in Greatness Circle, and I've actually experienced it myself and the goodness of being in Greatness Circle. And in your support, I found this t-shirt, Engineering Greatness, because I do understand that the process is a wonderful process for people to experience. And so the topic that I'd like to address is the issue of diversity in Greatness Circle. Now, traditionally, when I deliver training, I would invite people to give me definitions of what they understand the word diversity to mean. And it's not that I'm being biased today. I love to hear what you have to say. But what I really want to do is to give you a context of diversity, because it really is a big topic. And everybody has their own definition. And the years that I've worked with the question of diversity, and I've worked with people and I do some consulting, I start from the concept of having a real context to put this in. So the context of Greatness Circle is what I'm focusing on this morning in terms of thinking about who gets to come, who gets to participate, and who gets to benefit. I know it's a magnificent process, but my big question is it open for everybody to come in, to participate and benefit from it? So that's the question that I'm starting with. Now, I come from a long history of doing this work and living and breathing diversity. As far back as I can remember, growing up in Britain, I was a different one. I've been different practically for all of my life, and I understand the perspective from being a different one. And so I got to understand that I was not of the norm. And by the norm, I mean I wasn't of the dominant culture. I always stood out. It really didn't matter if I tried to blend in or hide or whatever. I just showed up because I was different. And that allowed me to get a perspective on life that I realized that over time that the people of what I call the dominant culture didn't understand. But also I got to understand a deep sense of fairness and equity. And I came into this work because I was a staunch women's libber, and I was staunch Black Power supporter, and I had very strong views about people of different abilities being able to get into buildings. So that's where it started. And then I got to realize that I couldn't change the world just by my belligerence and my activity. And I had a really great friend from South Africa who was exiled for 27 years because they knew Nelson Mandela, her and her husband. And she showed me a model that let me see that diversity is the norm.